Peace. Some time to this one. And I just want to finish this video quick, man, because I keep having problems and difficulties. It's like my third time trying to shoot this video. But I'm going to continue on. Alright, we was talking about, we started right here. We started after the Indian Massacre of 1622. Like I mentioned, I made 2 other previous videos similar to this. But we're going to dive deep into the Virginia Company. Alright, and Jamestown, Virginia, and all this other stuff. Alright, so it says after the Indian Massacre of 1622 killed of settlers, the king revoked the company charter in 1624 and made Virginia a royal colony under his control. Archaeologists' excavations at James Fort have shown how close the colony followed the company's directives, instructions in late 1606 from the Virginia Company stress above all things the need to hide the numbers of the English sick and deceased to prevent the Virginia Indians from seizing upon the colony's weakness. Archaeologists uncovers a large English burial ground inside the crowded confines of the fort walls. Alright, so we got pretty much a proper understanding of what they were saying, what their intention was. Alright, but we got some other information that I'm gonna read to you. Alright, now I'm gonna give you an idea of when we say the Virginia Company. We're gonna go deep, and some of this stuff is like you're gonna tie back to a lot of the conspiracy theories in which we hear about, you know what I'm saying, about the country or whatever. So whenever this chooses to load up, we're going to get done with this. Alright, boom. So it says, I got this from this little article right here. It's not loading properly, so let me just keep it here and let me just read it, and I'm going to move on to the next thing. And I'm going to conclude with this video, alright? So it say the Virginia Company owns the United States of America. Alright? So, you know, basically the Virginia Company is the United... Alright, hold up. There you go. Right here. Alright, so it say the Virginia Company owns the United States of America. Alright? So look, like I said, video, you understand, you get a proper understanding of what happened. Jamestown, Virginia, how it started from Jamestown, how it ended all the way in California. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, all the colonies, that now it's 50 colonies. Well, however many states there is the colonies. Alright? So let's deal with this. Let's read this. Alright, so let's say in 1604. Remember, we originally started at 1606, and when I started with Powhatan, it was 1607. So 1604, it say a corporation called the Virginia Company was formed in anticipation of intimate influx of white Europeans, mostly British at first, into the North American continent. Say its main stockholder was King James. The original charter for the company was completed by April 10th, 1606. The Virginia Company owned most of the land we now call the United States. The Virginia Company, the British Crown, the bloodline families had right to 50%. Yes, 50% of all gold and silver mined on its land. Alright, so all the gold and silver that they found here is the gold that they got. Alright, so say plus percentages of minerals and raw materials, and 5% of all profit and other ventures. So the 5% of all profit and other ventures is the fucking taxes you pay, alright? So it say the land of the Virginia Company were granted. Yo, this shit is deep, bro. Yo, this shit is deep, man. This shit is deep. We started off with the Aborigines. But now we at the point right now to where we finding out the Virginia. See, everybody bounce around, and you know, like I said, I give props to all my people who came, who got it, who, you know what I'm saying, who put us on this information. We start off in the islands. We did the islands. You know what I'm saying. We found out about that, but no one went in depth with the Virginia Company. All right, and what happened in Jamestown, because now we see the images of what the people they took back to Europe. Now we know why you see people in Europe with pipes in their mouth and with the same head garb or headdress and the same skirt that motherfucking we seen Power Hot wear. And I don't mean say skirt, but that's what the fuck they was wearing, man. You know, so let's keep it 100, man. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, though, we see this. Why do we see so-called Native Americans in which that they took? And that's another thing. You don't see Native Americans with the grass skirts. You don't see them with grass skirts. Okay? Let me keep it moving, though. All right? So, what was I right here? All right, it says the land of Virginia Company was granted to the colonies under the deed of trust. The deed of trust on lease. On lease. So they saying that this property got a lease to it, man. They're saying that this shit is on lease. It say, and therefore they could not claim ownership of the land. Okay, but check this out. It say they could pass the perpetual use of the land to their heirs and sell the perpetual use, but they could never own it. It say ownership was retained by the British Crown. So something dealing with this right here is what Drew Ali tried to do, or whatever, but a lot of this shit is dealing with 1933 and a lot of this other stuff, but it's dealing beyond this as well. All right, so we're going to go on back into the Virginia Company. We're going to read a little bit more, all right? So like I said, we understand 1606, they arrived Jamestown, Virginia. They met the Powhatan. They met the Powhatan Indians or the Chesapeake Aborigines or whatever the fuck we want to call them, okay? They met them. They had these treaties with them. Okay, well, they didn't have treaties, but they gave the Powhatan Aborigines gave them a percentage and said, okay, y'all can stay in Jamestown or whatever, and we can trade certain things with y'all. They didn't want to just stay in Jamestown. They wanted to extend. They wanted to extend their company. Okay, they wanted to extend their company and their corporation or whatever, which led us to the which led us to this right here. All right. The 13 colonies. All right. So we know that the original colony was Virginia, right? But let's deal with this. Let's deal with this, right? All right. Now the reason why the 13 colonies was established, the first one was Virginia, right? I think the first one was Virginia, then Delaware. Then I believe, then Delaware, then New Jersey. If you look, all this shit right here in the same area. All these is ports to where they could come with their boats at, with their shit, with their fucking cannons and shit on it. You understand what I'm saying? See, the boats with the cannon is what really was fucking us up, because, and then as you move inland is when they come and take this, and then they move inland on you. You understand? And this is what I think what happened. And then, like I say, they could not get the South. I think the South was too strong because they could not have the reach. Like, if they come inland, it's going to be an ambush. Like I said, people, like, we copper colors, so it was a canopy here. So we blended in with the fucking, we blend. That's why if you see them plants, you got them plants on your head. Imagine you see them crown feathers, right? Now you hide in the fucking bushes among bushes with them crown feathers on and bow and arrow. You like a ninja. That's like stealth attack. You understand? That's like stealth attack. Understand what I'm saying? Let me see. All right, so hold up. All right, so you see how Powhatan is, right? So you see how he got his how he got the feathers or the leaves or whatever. Imagine you hiding into the damn jungle like that. They ain't gonna see you. That's camouflage. That's the first camouflage. That's camouflage right there. You understand what I'm saying? They camouflage. You cannot see them, and that's what I'm saying. So when you deal with this. When you deal with this, now you see why Virginia was the first one, which was supposed to be Jamestown. Then they extended their stay in Virginia and moved it to Delaware, then moved it to New Jersey. If I'm not mistaken, like I said, I'm not. Listen, I'm just gonna give you an understanding of this shit. You can fill in the blanks as you go along. Okay? They came, boom, came to Virginia. All right, here you see Maryland is right here. Maryland is this tip, which all this shit is really fucking Virginia or whatever. That's why DC is right here in Virginia, because that's the District of Columbia, which is only the 10 by 10 square mile of the District of Columbia, which is only really supposed to be the United States, which is the Virginia Company. Alright? So, let me see this one. I think this should come out. But, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory at this point in time. You know what I'm saying? Now you know who the owners of the Virginia Company. I mean, we're gonna get into that too. Who is the owners of Virginia Company? All right. I mean, if it's telling you London.